LGBT in 3, news stories of the week for New Englanders, brought to you by Rockland Trust. For Boston Spirit Magazine, hi there, I'm Randy. First up this week, newly elected chair of the New Hampshire Log Cabin Republicans, Dan Ennis, told WMUR-TV in a recent interview that he's going to continue to push his party to recognize marriage equality and to drop the language from both the Granite States and National Republican Party platforms that recognize marriage only as between one man and one woman. According to Ennis, he's asking that all relationships, all partnerships be treated equally. Back in 2009, New Hampshire's governor signed same-sex marriage into law. That, of course, followed Massachusetts, which led the way nationally in 2004 by court order, and Maine, where voters legalized it by a statewide vote. Currently, neither the national nor New Hampshire Republican parties accept marriage equality and have continued to disavow it in their platforms. Log Cabin Republicans in the Granite State have been working to change that for quite some time. A federal judge in Connecticut has dismissed a high-profile lawsuit seeking to bar transgender athletes from competing in high school girls' sports. This case drew national attention in 2020 as some 20 other states started debating laws to restrict transgender athletes from participating in school sports. Well, earlier this year, the Biden administration did withdraw federal support for the case against trans athletes, which the previous administration had been pushing. The 27-page decision to drop the case stated that Andrea Yearwood and Terry Miller, both transgender athletes, had already graduated, and it was unlikely the plaintiffs would have to compete against transgender athletes in the following season. Back in February of 2020, the families of 3 high school track team runners filed the suit to exclude transgender female athletes from participating in girls' sports, despite a state law that requires all students be treated according to the gender with which they identify. A month later, former U.S. Attorney General Bill Barr weighed in, arguing against the state's policy to follow the state law, and in late May of 2020, the U.S. Department of Education's Civil Rights Office sent a 45-page letter to the state threatening to withhold federal funding unless Connecticut schools went against Connecticut law and banned transgender girls from participating in girls' sports. The Boston Gay Men's Chorus is taking their annual benefit gala encore online. The virtual gala will take place on Saturday this weekend. The performance will include all of the elements of the in-person experiences, including storytelling, hat competition, plenty of diverse LGBT entertainment, special guests, the Boy Band Project, and of course, the great music you'd expect. Hosting the one-hour event from the Regent Theater in Arlington is Catherine Peterson, Executive Director of Arts Boston and immediate past chair of Chorus America. Showtime, 7 p.m., pre-show at 6:30, and tickets for the shindig are available on the Boston Gay Men Chorus website, bgmc.org. And speaking of the fine millinery, hats. Since Encore falls on the same day of the Kentucky Derby, guests will be invited to compete in a virtual hat competition via Instagram. Plus, live chat will allow guests to comment as the show progresses. Music director Reuben Reynolds will kick off the festivities with a pre-show demonstration of the proper way to make a mint julep. And since I am a Southerner and now live in the South, I'm going to be watching this very closely to make sure it's right, Reuben. I'm Randy Price for Boston Spirit. See you next week. Now share the news and like the Boston Spirit page to get these updates first thing on Fridays. LGBT news stories in 3 minutes, brought to you by our good friends at Rockland Trust.
At Rockland Trust, we celebrate inclusiveness and respect the full diversity of all our colleagues and communities. We truly believe each relationship matters.